I'm Chris Carson Seals, Park Interpreter for Santa Clara County Parks, and you are at Chitactac-Adams Heritage County Park. This is a wonderful, beautiful Native American Amah Mutsun Ohlone site where the Amah Mutsun Ohlones lived here 300 years ago.
My name is Dan Cloutier. I've been a volunteer docent here at Chitactac Park for about 10 years now, and it's been very rewarding and enriching. We're in the Central California area, and this enlarged region on the map shows today what we know as San Francisco Bay Area, Monterey Bay Area, but this range was where the people, the Ohlone people, the native people of California live. And today we are at Chitactac. So Chitactac was just one of the tribal villages of the native people throughout the Bay Area. And that's because the way of life of people is so much different than modern society today with our technology, agriculture, and all the tools. So the people were hunters and gatherers, thus they had to live in balance with their natural environment, using the natural resources, the plants and the animals for their everyday lives.
The village, actually Chitactac means dance place, or place of dance. The structures that you see here, first of all, looks a lot different than how we live today. They used a lot of the natural resources, always giving back to Mother Earth. This is an example of a house that the Ohlone people would have stayed in, maybe 8 to 10 in the Tule house.
Well, one of the things that we received from building this Tule house was a great appreciation for the people who lived here. It was a lot of work to build a structure like this, and it would only last 2 to 3 years because it's natural material. It's going to rot, it's going to wear out over time. Tule would grow maybe up to 10 feet tall, and they would gather it and dry it out, and then you could use it for building and construction. Willow trees, they bend, they're fibrous, but they don't break. And then finally you put the Tule mats, and then you see the bands of willow holding it together on the outside.
This here shows you an illustration of some Tule women out there gathering the Tule. There's a special way in cutting the Tule. When they cut the Tule, they want to cut it actually using a deer scapula saw. This here is a scapula bone from a deer. It's a shoulder blade. And they actually took some arrowheads and they made it into a saw, but you have to know the right angle, the right depth to make these teeth. We're taking our Tule saw. Imagine ladies going out into the water and cutting that Tule, and it works really well. They cut the Tule above the water line. They were very careful in cutting the Tule that they didn't cut all the Tule. Tule was very important not only for the native people, but also for the animals that depended on Tule for survival. Some of the items that were made with Tule, this is a duck decoy that was made with Tule. The people would sit on the side of the shoreline, the duck would be in the water. This is actually a berry basket. It would be a little bigger, but the design of the basket's very unique because it's small down here, gets wider up here.
This area had a lot of oak trees, oak woodland, oak grassland when Chitactac was an inhabited village. So the people relied extensively on the acorn drop. Every fall, the acorn drop was there. It was a big community event. Everyone helped gather the acorns.
They would take the acorn, and then inside is this nice acorn. You'd put the acorn in your mortar, so they pounded down to a very, very fine powder. This is an illustration here, photograph of acorn meal.
Here you see a soap plant with a large flower stalk. Each flower blooms only once in the late afternoon, a little white flower blooms, but the flower stalk, it only lasts for one season. It will then die off, a new one will grow next spring. You'll see some flower blooms, but for the most part the plant is dormant. But next spring, new growth, new green growth will come up. The leaves will radiate around from the center of the plant. I'm standing under a California bay tree. This is one of the native trees in the area. I'm going to pick a bay leaf, and it's of interest because this is one of the leaves that the people of Chitactac used. one of the interesting uses, and it has aromatic oils in it, quite a strong kind of a minty smell to it. There's also something else interesting that we get from the bay tree, and that's bay nuts. So the bay nuts could be roasted, and it's a good source, a portable source of food. And actually it has a stimulant, so it actually would help keep you awake and alert for hunting. That would be good.
I've been here for 15 years and love every minute of it. I guess the reason I'm still here and it's a so special place to be is there's a lot to offer here. One of the things that always comes back to me is the people that Chitactac attracts. People that all around me, they just make me smile, make me happy, and along with the native people too that come here.
I really enjoy the natural world, the ecosystems, as well as the cultural history of this place. I think it's important is that that's an age group where it's an opportunity to inform, entertain, and inspire children, have them appreciate the natural world, the ecology, the nature around them, as well as to understand cultures different than their own. And hopefully we can be better stewards of our environment. So that's what kind of motivates me to keep on going.